Hello! It's me, Kyle, Good Pause Hobby, and this is episode 2 of our asymmetric exercises, in which I write exercises for the trumpet that are based off of the factions of root. The two goals for these exercises I write: one, they should in some way be connected to the theme, the mechanics, or both of the faction in question. But also, as I'm a trumpet player and teacher, I want to make sure that these exercises have merit in that realm. That I'm not just writing something, I want it to sound good. I want it to be connected to root. But I also, would love to be able to give these to some of my students, to give them to my friends who are teachers, to provide them like I am here for anyone who wants to play them, to work on whatever it is that they work on. So with that, without any further ado, episode 2, second exercise, is going to be beautiful infrastructure, which is based upon Marquis de Cat. So for this exercise, full disclosure, complete peek entirely behind the curtain, this is a section of something I have written previously. I would love for Winds, the piece is called. It is a five movement solo, 5 movement work for solo trumpet, and inspired off of the Bach cello suites, and made for each of the seasons +1. So this is from the +1. This is the kind of appetizer season. And the way I wrote that piece of music was each movement was entitled ellipses something. So that was gathering. And the intention is, if you were to play the whole suite together, the title would be Winds, and then each movement would be after that. But in a different time, different part of my life, when I used to be a church music director, I used to use the Bach cello suites for trumpet, or playing it on trumpet, for things like during offering or prelude music. And it was always rather unfulfilling to me to just say, in the bulletin, to be like Bourrée by Bach or whatever it may be, Saraband. And I was like, man, I understand that those are the dance styles. That's where the names came from. But it doesn't translate well to telling someone, oh, I'm playing this. So if you were just to play one, you would put Winds and then whatever it is. So Winds Gathering would be this one. This one is the closest, Hugh's closest to the Bach cello suites that I derived it from. It's very intricate with its melody. It's rather melody and articulation. It's very specific, where it has slurs, where it has long tenutos, where it's short staccatos, and it's rather unrelenting in its rhythm and its pacing. So it goes on to have a minor section, and then it comes back for the end. This is just the part A of this piece. And I really, really love it. And I hope one day to actually get this available more widespread, published by someone aside from the one Kickstarter that I did 2 years ago for it. But until then, it's music that I really enjoy. And I think other people might enjoy too. And to me, this really encapsulates, encapsulates the idea that the cats are coming into this world, this forest, and they are just sort of kind of to themselves, the de facto new normal. I think I put in the music self-ordained, according to them, this is theirs, and they're doing a great job, and everyone should just go along with it. And they're very, based on the artwork, they are very kind of just they've succeeded to be at the spot where we all see root beginning. If cats are in the game, they're in either every space -1 or every space with the new setup instructions. So they clearly made it there somehow. They are not bad at this conquest thing, but now that they're there, they're just sort of doing their to me, when I play the cats, I am very self-absorbed in my process of making buildings, getting, cutting down more lumber, transporting it to build more buildings, to make more cats, to protect me building more buildings. And so the way I looked at this piece of music is all these instructions, the rhythms, the notes, the articulation, are sort of this self-created like build strategy of like, we just do this and we do this and we do this. And it says, in the music itself, it's very precise, but it's also has some whimsy to it. Like it's sort of like, when people showboat before they've made it to the end zone, or people like the whole don't count your eggs before they or don't count your chickens before they hatch. To them, there's like, this is great. Like, our way of life will become the way of life of the forest. Just give it some time. Which obviously anyone who's played as or against the cats know that is not necessarily complete and total surety. But that's how they're envisioning it. So it's very proper. It's very light. However, very precise. And so from the trumpet side of things, why I think this would be a good exercise is because of that precision. You really need to, it's in an easy key. It lays nicely on the fingers. That is not the challenge that we had previously with the Corvids, because that was a key that we are not familiar with. This one is nice and easy. However, there's lots of little detail in there. And when you, not to, hold myself in too high a regard, but when you play and you really do exhibit all that detail, from obviously the notes and the rhythms, but you really emphasize those articulations, the music kind of sings in a different quality because it adds these extra, like these turns of phrase become even more grand or even more sudden or whatever it may be. And so it just, whereas the first exercise forced us to focus our eyes on the melodic content, the notes themselves, this forces us to pay really close attention, not to the notes, but primarily to the articulation, and secondarily, just behind that, to the rhythm itself, because that's not a guarantee either. There's very clear patterns and sequencing, but they begin and they end on their own timeline. So you need to pay close attention and not just allow your brain to think, oh, it's probably going to do that thing it did one more time. So I love the feel of this so very much, and I'm glad that I can, other composers all the way back to Bach and everything in between, they would have things that would be from a symphony but also a string quartet, or whatever it may be, any other combination. And so why can't I, humble Kyle David Frost here, why can't I do it sometimes and just literally lift this out of winds for unaccompanied trumpet and add a single low G at the end and call that a new piece of music? So with that, hope you enjoy. I got a little longer winded than I expected, but I should not be surprised at that at this point in time in my life. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy the music, and we will see you back for episode 3 whenever we have that ready to go. Have a wonderful day.